Welcome to a new episode of Stag hunting in Scotland. If you haven't seen my successful hunt on an exceptional strong stag, then have a look at episode number 57 first. The next day we drove back to the very end of the valley, where Mark knew a very old stag, at least 13 to 14 years, that we wanted to hunt. On the way to our destination we saw a lot of red deer, especially hinds and calves. The river and streams, which had risen so threatening the day before due to the heavy rain, are only half as wild today. We therefore had to abandon the hunt for this old stag the day before, which made us all more excited to try again for the same stag today. Where are we going now?
We're going there, that's called Bouncy.
Okay.
We're going, you see there's a
Okay.
marker we check if they're still around, all the hinds are still around.
Okay.
If they are, hopefully we'll be off over there.
Okay.
Mark was confident that we would succeed today. The untouched nature was breathtaking. No houses, no tourists, nothing. Just nature and lots of red deer. I couldn't get enough of it.
They'll run out over the top there and across, or where these are, they'll probably see them. If there's hinds in this gorge, in the shelter, if we move them, hopefully they'll move up the gorge and they'll be out the sight of these deer. If they come out the gorge, these deer that we're going for, you would see them going over the skyline. The young traveller stag that's coming across, if he works down into the gorge and we bump him, it's not as important. If he runs out, the old stag will just think he's been chased by another stag. They're not as bothered seeing stags run about. As soon as a hind runs out, they'll be watching, ready to go.
Yes.
We'll cut across the river here, up the side of the fence, and then we'll walk across and into the gorge, out the gorge, and we'll come round. And hopefully we can find him in there.
Good plan.
His girlfriends are there. Whether he's still there, we'll find out.
We now knew where to go. All the way up the mountain. One thing was clear. This climb would certainly demand a lot from us. I secretly felt sorry for my wife even before the stalk began. We had both only brought rubber boots with us. Mine had been worn over the last 20 to 30 years and fit perfectly, but hers were a size bigger and new. Not good conditions for climbing a mountain. And we could already see from the valley that these mountains were steep.
These are the Welsh Highlands. This would have been a little village hundreds of years ago. That's where they would have lived. These would have been a little bit higher and with a wooden roof. Would have put birch trees, pine trees around the woods. gorge. We'll keep moving up. We'll try and make it.
We hadn't got very far yet, but the red deer that was watching us from the ridges knew exactly that it was better to get away. Thank God the old stag was not yet among the herds that were disappearing on the horizon. He's still
I
alive?
think it proved.
Okay.
See the bruising?
Yeah.
I think it proves that bruising.
Okay.
He's gonna live in the
Normally, my wife supports everything regarding my hunting expeditions, although her support for me to harvest this stag later reached its limits. We nearly made it up to the top, and from there we passed by the hill and tried to spot the 13 to 14-year-old red stag. At some point we reached a plateau and saw the first stag within shooting distance. However, it was one of the young traveler stags that Mark had mentioned earlier.
Mark, over there.
straight over to the edge. From the edge here, we'll start looking down onto the hinds and try and find where the stags lie.
We continued on and reached a position from where we had a good view of the mountainside. The stag was supposed to be standing somewhere within the herds. We suddenly spotted a big group and also a stag, which could be the one we were looking for. Mark had a plan how to follow them.
Go around here, along the top, then we'll get looking at this group. Then we'll work our way back. This stag could still be lying in some of these gorges on the way down. So we'll go along the top here and just hopefully we'll find something along there.
Good.
As far as we could see, the old stag was not within this little group of hinds and calves. But as Mark said, somewhere he could rest in one of the gorges. After the deer noticed us, they fled and apparently took all the other red deer with them. Although it was a big group of red deer, the old stag was again not within this herd. There was still a chance of finding him somewhere while stalking along the edges and ditches. A hind with calf, but
We didn't find him.
look forward to our last hunting day in next video about harvesting a stag of a lifetime.